Hi everyone, it's me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the past 6 years. And today I'm going to regret. I asked British people, what types of alcohol did you guys drink growing up in the UK? And I went out and bought all of them. So here on my kitchen table, I have all of the horrible, horrible alcohol choices that you guys drank as teenagers, and we're gonna try all of them. If you would like to see more completely unnecessary British taste test videos, please consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's go. Now, I think it's quite fitting actually to start with a cider option. A lot of people said what they drank as teenagers, Strongbow. Now this is a 4.5% cider. It's funny that you guys mentioned this one because this is what I used to drink when I first moved to the UK and I had no idea what to order at the pub. Strongbow is pretty much everywhere. It's just kind of like neutral. It's not that great. It's not terrible either, at least from what I remember. So it's really funny that you guys brought this one up. I've got my Bowland Brewery pint glass from Patreon member Jamie. Jamie, thank you so much. This is still the only pint glass that I own. And we are pouring these into glasses because some of these we are mixing. Joy. Now, Strongbow, you can get dark fruits, which I've had. I don't like. It's too like sickly sweet, but for the classic Strongbow, cheers everybody. It's okay. It's not as exciting as some of the cider options here. I do have a popular UK cider video if you want to check that out. Almost all of those ciders are better than Strongbow. But in a pickle, if you're not sure what to get, you're panicking, pretty much most places will have Strongbow. So it's perfectly adequate. I'm gonna give Strongbow 2 out of 3.5 cider experiences. It's not terrible, it's not great. Now I know there are so many better cider options out there, but I think as a teenager, if this is what you were drinking, then you're doing just fine. Because the options I have coming up are not fine. So I think while we have some cider in our glass, the next drink option that a lot of people recommended, that people, a choice that people, I don't know the word I want, just forget I said that. We're talking about snakebite. So snakebite is something that I've never had before, but from my little bit of a Google, a little bit of a Bing, a little bit of a Yahoo, it is equal parts cider and beer, typically lager. Some websites said you could do a stout. Okay, I tried to find like what's the best cider lager combinations, couldn't find anything. So we're gonna use our Strongbow and our Carling. So this is a really popular British lager, Burton-on-Trent, Great Britain. Some people also recommended this as its own drink, which I'm not sure I've ever had. Anybody here from Burton-on-Trent? Cheers, everybody. All right, so that doesn't taste very good. Equal parts, cheers. You wouldn't be able to tell that that's any different, other than the head on that. My apologies. Okay, snakebite, equal parts beer, equal parts cider. My stomach. Can we all just get a little rest in peace in the comments for my stomach? Cheers, everyone. It's not bad. I don't really like the taste of a lot of beers. I did a deadliest British beer video pretty recently. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. It was a lot of fun. I did find that I really prefer a strong ale for whatever reason. This, of course, is not a strong ale. This is a lager. What percentage are we dealing with here? 4%, so not particularly lethal. This by itself, I do not like. However, when you mix it with this cider, I get it. I actually get it. I'm gonna give the snake bite 6 out of 7 surprisingly decent trash options. I mean, I don't think I'd really want to be drinking this that often, but as a drink for a teenager, legal age, YouTube, if you're listening, we're only talking about legal age drinkers. But as a young person, teenager, whatever, in the UK, this is actually not that bad. It's not awesome, but it's not terrible, which I'm shocked. Blown away. Now, while this snake bite is very surprising, you may be thinking, Alanna, now that you got snake bite, what about snake bite and black? Don't worry, I got you covered. So, snake bite and black, which I don't know why you don't say black snake bite. Snake bite and black. Anyway, that's next up. So a lot of people told me that they like snake bite and black, which is basically our snake bite plus a little bit of black currant squash. So I guess this is kind of like a dark fruits version of snake bite. Either way, I bought this whole thing for this stupid little drink, which I will say here, while you're here, please, if you would like to support me directly while still getting exclusive content, please consider joining me on Patreon. The Patreon support that I receive monthly ensures that I'm able to keep going when YouTube doesn't do so well. So just a big shout out to all my Patreon buddies. Y'all making this happen. If you'd like to join me on Patreon, I'd love it if you did. Now this is quadruple strength, so that's as much as I'm gonna put in. Maybe that's too much, I don't know. I'm also not sure if we should really be mixing it around or not. Either way, I'm just gonna dive right in. I forget what I was saying about Patreon, but you guys are lovely. Okay, that's my little piece. Why is that making a noise? Anyway, snake bite and black. Cheers, everybody. That might have been too much. That might have been too much blackcurrant. Yeah, okay. Well, I get it. I get it. I think I put too much in it, personally. If there was just like a touch, I'd probably be fine with it. This is a bit too blackcurrant-y. But as a teenager, I can totally get it because obviously you are going to get absolutely pissed. And pissed as in drunk. For all my North Americans, not angry, pissed. Absolutely hammered, smashed, trashed, whatever you like, whatever word you'd like to use. But with the blackcurrant, it does make it taste a bit more like juice. So I think if you're not really familiar with the taste of alcohol, or you don't really like the taste of alcohol, but you're still looking, you know, to get pissed, I totally get it. I don't really like it. I actually like it more without it because this reminds me of dark fruits, which if you recall, I said I don't like. Unless I dreamt saying that, in which case disregard this part. That's kind of growing on me, but still, I'm going to give the black currant, nope, I'm going to give the snake bite and black 2 out of 5 weird drink choices. I like the snake bite au naturel better because the black currant is just a bit too much for me. Cheers, everybody. If this is your drink, let me know. Leave a comment. How about leave a comment. What is your favorite teenage drink from whatever country you are from? I'd love to know. Unfortunately, we have so many more to go. Now, I forgot to buy snacks for this video specifically, but I had these kicking around in the cupboard. Not sponsored, obviously not. These are so good. They're the Pringles Sizzlin' Medium Sour Cream. Honestly, one of the most Moorish crisps you can find in this country. They're delicious. I bought them just to try one day and I've never looked back. So thankfully I still had some of these in the cupboard. Oh my God. Okay, just give me a second. Next up, perhaps one for our ladies, we gotta try Lambrini. Do you guys remember this one? So a lot of people mention this one as sort of like, as a woman, you don't know what you want to drink. You don't want a beer. You want something maybe perhaps a little bit more feminine. I don't know. This one came up all the time. It is a lightly sparkling Perry at 6%. There's even little hearts on the bottle. I don't know if you can see that. I couldn't find this. And then I saw it at a corner store, like a convenience store. I gotta say it was like £4 or something. Anyway, Lambrini. Did you guys drink this? Did anyone drink this? I love it. I can't wait. Now, since we're being posh ladies, I got one of these. Oh my God, relax. Take a deep breath. Here we go. Look how fancy, bubbly. Cheers, everybody. Not bad. So our Lambrini 6%, it's fine. It's very sweet, which again, for a teenage palate, I totally get it. It's sweet, it's bubbly, it's pretty light. I bet this gives the absolute worst headaches known to mankind, which we will find out shortly. But overall, you know, not bad. Or maybe just because I've already had some drinks, now it's not that bad. It's hard to say. I'm gonna give the Lambrini 7 out of 8 lightly sparkling Perrys, whatever that means. It's totally reasonable. I bet the hangovers are unreal. I feel like I've got a headache coming on, so that's a good sign. But I've certainly had worse. I've certainly had worse. And to be honest, I think I'd rather have this than having to drink an IPA. So, now of course when I asked Brits online, what did you have as a teenager? Of course we're dealing with a variety of ages. So of course drinks come and go, but I did have a lot of people that suggested an old frenemy, a friend and an enemy, and that's gotta be Smirnoff Ice. As a Canadian, this was what we drank as teenagers when you just wanted to black out. So I got this from the store. This was the only size that I could get. What we used to do, I don't know if the Brits do this currently, or will do this in the future, but we used to do a thing called, you would get iced. If anyone knows what that means. So you get this, like usually the smaller Smirnoffs. Sorry, there's a giant truck outside. Pull it together, Alanna. When I was a teenager, you could get the smaller, like individual bottles of Smirnoff Ice. You could like hide it for someone to find. And if they found it and saw it, you'd say, you know, you've been iced, and they'd have to go down on one knee and drink the whole thing. That's the front door, but I don't recommend the iced thing. Wow, everything's just happening here at the Naps household today. We got trucks, we got the doorbell going off. I'm not answering it. Smirnoff Ice, everybody. I can already smell it, and it brings back memories that I have long since repressed. I think the name of the game for alcohol when you're a teenager is something that's like sweet, that's not too horrible tasting. Like it tastes more like juice, or it has like a sweet taste to it. I don't really remember what this tastes like, to be honest. What percentage are we dealing with? So this is only 4%, which is actually not that high considering some of the other stuff I've drank on this channel. But yeah, this was very big for me as a teenager, and I love to know that some Brits also went through a Smirnoff Ice phase. Cheers, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Thanks for being here. Cheers. Oh my God. All of the memories are flooding back. To be honest, that tastes good. Something's happening. Something is deeply wrong with me right now because this tastes good. It's so unbearably sweet. And it's a little bit bubbly, and it doesn't taste like alcohol. That's where it gets you. This is one of the ones that does not taste like alcohol. Premium vodka mixed with the classic taste of lemon with sugar and sweeteners. This is the one that gives you the sickly headache and hangover where you just want to die. Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. And honestly, I kind of have a fond place in my heart for it. The Smirnoff Ice is gonna get a 9 out of 9 nostalgic hangovers. It's been a long time coming, buddy. I haven't seen you in so long. Cheers. I am gonna feel so sick later. Now, while we take a quick snack break, a lot of people said that I should taste test White Lightning, which was like, I believe a cider in like one of the big pop liter bottles. I don't know if I should tell you this, but that actually was discontinued in 2009. So I cannot taste it, unfortunately, unless someone is stockpiling some bottles somewhere in the UK, in which case, give me a ring, drop me an email, send me your White Lightning. I'm just kidding. Or am I? But apparently White Lightning had such a bad reputation. They tried to like rebrand it a little bit. It looks like, at least from my little bit of a Google, they tried to rebrand it and they just couldn't get away from people's opinions of it. So it was discontinued in 2009. Rest in peace, White Lightning. I wish I could have tried you. But next on our list of British teenager drinks, we got this one. So this is the original sours. It's apple, sweet and sour liqueur. This is 15%. And interestingly, this is the one that had the security tag on it at Tesco that I had to get a lady to take off because I guess kids are more likely to steal this than some of the other choices, which I thought was very funny. So sours apple, why not? I thought it only made sense to do a shot of it out of my nicest glass. Okay, cheers. Apple sours, or sours apple, however you say that. Cheers, everybody. Oh my God. Y'all be out here drinking this? Oh, wow. Okay, first thoughts, cold medicine. Right away, some sort of apple flavored cold medicine. Look at that color. That is not normal. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I mean, I get it. As a teenager, legal drinking age teenager, this is probably very appealing because it is, you know, it's a fun color. It's sweet and sour. It tastes like apple. I already feel like I'm getting quite flushed. Cheers. I suffer from my art. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, how dare you? Oh my God, I'm getting too old for this. I'm gonna give these sours apples. You know what? It's not the worst thing I've ever had. 2 out of 4 cough syrup shots. I have had shots of things that are much worse, to be honest. Any sort of like cinnamon, you know the shots that like the flamin' whatever, the cinnamon tasting shots? I think I'd rather have apple cough syrup than cinnamon, to be completely honest. I also have memories of too many tequila shots, and I might prefer an apple cough syrup shot compared to those tequila shots. It's sweet, it's sour, it's ridiculous, and I totally get it. But we need to put this away because that is gonna lead to issues. All right, keep it together. How are we doing, everybody? Doing all right? We have 2 more to go. Next up, we have a cider that a lot of people suggested, for better or for worse. Can you guess what it is? We are talking about K cider. I've never heard of this before, and I've never seen it before. And as someone who likes cider, cider is my go-to drink at a pub. I've never heard of this. And that makes me confused and worried. So K cider is 7.5, okay? How menacing does this look? I will say that I bought this at the corner store along with the Lambrini. I bought the single can and got a couple of funny looks. What are you gonna do? Honestly, I would rather them think that I was drinking K-cider at 11 in the morning when I bought it than have to explain to them that I have a YouTube channel where I drink this stuff for videos. Okay, well, it's got a nice color, you know, sort of a golden, yellowy, orangey color. Cheers, everybody. K-cider. Is this your favorite? It's probably nobody's favorite. Did you drink this as a kid? Not as a kid. As a legal drinking teenager. Oh, God. Cheers, everybody. Oh, God. Okay. That does not taste good. It does not taste good. And you know that it doesn't taste good. I imagine K-cider is what you go for when, again, you want to black out. At 7.5, it wouldn't take too much of this, to be honest. But it doesn't taste good. Strongbow is so much better than this. Obviously, it's quite a bit weaker. And all of the ciders I taste tested on my cider video are miles ahead of this. But it is cheap and it is strong. It tastes horrible, but it is 7.5. So I think I'd rather have the apple shots than this, which is saying something. I'm gonna give K-cider, I can feel a headache already coming on. 3 out of 9 upsetting tastes. It's not good. There's almost no redeeming quality to this other than you will black out. So if that's what you're, in the market for, then perhaps this one's for you. Next up on our horrible journey down memory lane, can you guess what our final drink is? Can you guess what color it is? Did you guess WKD blue? So one thing that came up when I was asking people about British teenage legal drinking age drinks was a lot of people said Alco Pops, which is not a word that I've ever heard before, and it's not something that we use in Canada, but from my understanding, Alco Pops is like alcohol mixed with sort of like juice type flavors, which typically we would call that coolers. So coolers are super popular with teenagers because, of course, they tend to be a bit sweeter. They tend to be really easy to drink. You can buy them, in individual cans. So as a drinking teenager, coolers was like a really easy option to go for. So it's interesting that Brits also tend to go towards that as well as teenagers. But you guys usually say Alco Pops, which I've never heard of that before. And I don't know if I've gotten the definition right, but I just found that interesting. So WKD Blue is an alcohol milk mix. It says original. This is, again, 4%, so not super high, but I imagine you could probably drink quite a bit of it. I did see, though, on the back, it says it contains caffeine. Is that normal? Sparkling fortified alcoholic premix, blending mixed fruit flavors, contains caffeine. Fascinating. Some people also did suggest Buckfast, which, guess what? I've already done that in a video. I did a video on Scottish's most controversial drink. I don't even really remember what I called it, but you can watch that video where I do taste test Buckfast. Let the truck go by. From my memory, Buckfast is a fortified wine, but it does contain caffeine, which is why it's controversial because obviously, you've got alcohol, you've got a high percentage of alcohol, and you also have caffeine. Anyway, WKD Blue, here we go. Look at that color. It's actually kind of pretty though, isn't it? This is one of my favorite colors. I love blue. I love teal, I love blue, but I like blue in drink format. Cheers, everybody. You know what that tastes like? Oh my God, hold on. Okay, so let me explain. How do I explain that? Canadians will call them freezies. And they're the strips, like tubes of juice kind of mix that you freeze, you cut the top, and you eat them like a popsicle. We call them freezies. They're like ice lollies, I guess here. The blue freezy, that is what it tastes like, except with alcohol and caffeine. I'm shocked. Wow, okay. I mean, obviously this is extremely deadly because it does not taste like alcohol in the slightest. If anything, it tastes like a blue freezy. 4% sneaks up on you. And again, I bet it gives you a wicked hangover. But this is actually, I mean, it's good, isn't it? I totally get it. Wow. I gotta give WKD Blue 5 out of 5 blue freezies. It tastes like juice. I can already feel the headache starting. I bet you have a wicked hangover. It doesn't taste like alcohol. It tastes like a melted freezy, which I love. I bet this is gonna turn my tongue blue if I drink any more. This is horrible and terrible, and I love it. Now, what British teenage drink is the best? My beautiful, cloudy Smirnoff Ice. It's truly horrible, but I have quite fond, horrible memories of it, and it actually makes me really happy that Brits and Canadians, even though we grew up on separate continents, we were both having the same horrible drink choice. So cheers, everybody. Out of our options today, of course, this is just a small selection, but out of our options today, the worst one that comes to mind is that K cider. It tastes horrible. I get that it's a high percentage and that's probably the whole reason for it, but it's crap. It's not good. No, thank you. Next up, I also didn't like the Snakebite and Black, but shockingly, the Snakebite was pretty good just to keep the blackcurrant out of it. Otherwise, the rest of them I would happily drink and then immediately regret it. They're sweet and ridiculous and horrible and bad. But you know what? They're pretty fun. And I am going to feel horrible tomorrow. Cheers. If you would like to watch more ridiculous British taste test alcohol videos, make sure to check out this one where I taste tested the UK's most deadliest beers. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!